Hey, it's Steve from Minerva here, and today we're having a look at patterns which can be made using 1 meter or less of fabric. Most of us have probably got single meters of fabric lying around left over from other projects, I know I do, but if you don't, this is still going to give you some great budget-friendly options for your next sewing project. We're going to be looking at 5 patterns in total, and for each one I'll talk you through the design as well as a fabric that I've picked out that I think would work really well. As usual, all of the patterns and fabrics I'm going to talk about are available from us and are linked directly below this video. If you have a Minerva account, you can click and save them for later, and if you don't have an account just yet, remember it is free to sign up and you'll get that discount code on your next purchase. So let's jump straight in with our first pattern. First up, we're going to be taking a look at McCall's pattern 7983. This is a double pattern which includes a close-fitting top available in 2 lengths and collars, and also a skirt which you can make in 2 different lengths. The pattern we're going to be focusing on here is the skirt, however the top could comfortably be made with 1 meter of fabric if you were to amend the sleeves to be very short or a tank top style. The skirt is a close-fitting above the waist skirt with front and back darts, as well as an exposed zip the entire length of the back. It's a nice classic design where the final garment's feel is really going to be determined by the fabric chosen. Wool, leather, velvet and denim are all great options and will each give a completely different finish piece depending on what you go for. McCall's have listed this pattern as suitable for beginners, and I would agree with that. It's a great entry point into women's wear with very clear instructions and not too many pattern pieces that you need to be juggling about. The fabric I've chosen for this pattern is this crepe back satin in this fantastic bottle green colourway. One side of the fabric is an opaque matte crepe, with the other side being this shiny satin. This is part of the Minerva core range and is available in a whole load of colours, 18 to be exact, so there is something for everyone. This feels like a really quality fabric and has a great weight to it, along with a decent drape, as you can see. Along with that, the eye-catching colour makes this a perfect choice for this skirt. One thing I really like and that's nailed this fabric on as my top choice for this pattern is that you could use either side for the outer of the skirt and it gives a totally different final product, both with real pop. I kind of like the idea of using the matte crepe side as the outer and then using the satin side essentially as a built-in lining. This is a 100% polyester fabric, so it's nice and durable, it's non-stretch, and it's available in a 45-inch width. Next up, we've got the Liesl & Co. Tribeca Knit Cami. This camisole top comes in 2 styles, one with a V-neck and another with a higher, straight neckline, sometimes referred to as bateau style. There are 1/2-inch straps that cross at the back, and both styles also include a built-in bra which adds to the structure of the garments. This is rated as an intermediate pattern, which makes sense on the basis that the straps can be a bit fiddly and you'll be using a stretch fabric, but it's a great introduction to sewing with these kinds of fabrics as you'll only need 1 meter from the get-go. This is a really nice casual top pattern as it is, but it also benefits from being a relatively blank canvas for you to make any amendments that you would want to if you were looking to make something with a bit more added individuality. In terms of fabric choices, I'd probably stick with a jersey or a rib knit of some kind, something that has a decent amount of stretch, with the pattern itself recommending a fabric with a stretch of at least 25%. The fabric I've chosen here is this Pan Velvet Velour Stretch Knits. Pan velvets have been heavily pressurized during their manufacturing process to push the pile in a single direction, which gives it a bit more of a uniform visual texture compared to that of other velvets. I've chosen this ginger colourway out of the amazing 50 colours available, and it's part of the Minerva core range. As you can see here, it is super stretchy along the width, but it also does have a bit of stretch along the length, which is going to provide the give that's going to be perfect for this top pattern. As you'd expect, the fabric is super soft on the outer side, but it's also comfortable on the underside and definitely not as coarse as some velvet velours I've used in the past. This is a polyester elastane blend, and as mentioned, this is a 4-way stretch fabric available in a 59-inch width. Our third pattern today is the Comox trunks from indie pattern company Thread Theory. These men's trunks have been really well designed, with the back seams sitting away from the centre, a reinforced inseam and also a shaped front cup. It's a super high quality pattern with the classic fit that we've come to expect from Thread Theory, and the instructions are really well laid out, making this a great project for beginners and experienced sewers alike. This pattern is going to work well with something like a heavy cotton jersey or maybe a bamboo. Essentially, you're going to want something with a decent amount of stretch, but also a very high comfort factor due to the location of the garments. There are some absolutely fantastic makes using this pattern on Minerva, ranging from sleek to novelty, so make sure you check out the tagged posts on this pattern when you have a second. The fabric I've chosen for this pattern is this bamboo jersey cotton stretch knit from the Minerva core range. I've chosen this dark red Bordeaux colourway, but there are 26 total colours to choose from, so again, you are completely spoilt for choice there. There's a 70% stretch along the width as well as the length of this fabric, so it's perfect for this pattern and any garment really that requires a bit more dynamic movement. As well as being super soft, as it's a bamboo cotton blend with a medium weight, it's decent to sew with even considering the stretch, and holds up to pressing very well compared to some similar fabrics that are lighter or a little bit thinner. This is a bamboo cotton elastane blend, so it has fantastic properties like breathability and longevity, and as mentioned, it has an even 4-way stretch available in a 59-inch width. Our penultimate pattern is this bucket hat by Wardrobe by Me. This is a soft hat which can be lined and includes stitching lines on the brim for detailing, a couple of eyelets, and then a decorative band and binding around the brim if you want to add them. I'm a big fan of hats in general, and they're a great way of using up final sections of fabric that you've got kicking about. In terms of fabric choices, you've got loads to choose from here. Classic options like canvas or a cotton drill will make a nice summer hat, but a denim or anything with a medium weight and a bit of structure will do very nicely. This pattern is listed as suitable for advanced beginners, and I'd agree with that. It can be a bit fiddly in sections where you're dealing with the curves, but as long as you take it nice and slow and step by step, you should be golden at any level, especially as the instructions are nice and clear and also fully illustrated. The fabric I've gone for here is a bit of a wild card. It's this super fun light pink Velboa faux fur. Again, this is part of the Minerva core range and there are 11 different colours to choose from. As this is a Velboa fur, it has a nice low pile, meaning it's a bit easier to sew with than some other longer pile faux furs, and also won't make as much of a mess when you're dealing with it. As a disclaimer though, it still will pretty much get everywhere. This is quite a light fur, however, due to the underside having that stiffness that you would expect from a fabric like this, it's perfect for the structure of this hat, and it will give you something super cool at the end of it. There is a slight stretch along the width as well as the length of this fabric, but not enough so that it's going to interfere with the sewing of this garment, and will give you just that additional give in the final product that's always a bit handy. This fabric is 100% polyester with a slight 4-way stretch, and it's available in a 59-inch width. The final pattern we're going to be taking a look at today is New Look 6483. This is a simple top pattern that has a few different variations with the neckline and also the sleeves. This is a pretty simple, quick to sew top that has some great potential when it comes to pattern hacking and adjusting to make something completely individual. Alternatively, if you are looking to fire out a few tops in quick succession for a holiday or a summer wardrobe, this is a really great choice. I'll admit, this one is a bit of a cheat choice because some of the options require just over a metre of fabric. However, if you're not working with a perfect square metre of fabric and it's the remnants from another project, you might be able to fit in the pieces along the grain line depending on your previous cuts. Alternatively, if you're a bit creative with where your grain line is, there's a chance that you could fit them all into 1 metre. The fabric I've chosen for this pattern is this classic cotton chambray in pale blue from the Minerva core range. It's got a great visual texture to it with that denim look from the mix of the blue and the white threads, and the physical texture is great as well, being super soft and draping really nicely. This is a lightweight fabric, perfect for summer clothing, so matches really well with this pattern, and as a woven cotton, it has the added advantage of just being an absolute dream to sew and press. This pattern and fabric create a perfect combo for beginners, but also something pretty timeless, so it's an excellent option for anyone from first timers through to advanced sewists. The fabric is 100% cotton, non-stretch, and it's available in a 59-inch width. And that brings us to the end of our pattern choices that you can make with 1 meter of fabric or less. Remember, all of these patterns and the fabrics I've spoken about are linked below, so it's nice and easy for you to find them. Let us know what you think of the patterns and my fabric choices in the comments below, and don't forget to post your makes to Minerva so we can see your take on each of these patterns and how you're using these fabrics. Thanks for watching and have a great day.